Hi students, today we are going to read a book called Earthworms. Looking at the front cover and thinking, what is this book about? And thinking about the title, Earthworms, what do you think the main topic of this book might be? Well, let's read and find out. We're also going to look at how the book is organized. All the different things that the author does to help us understand the topic. Earthworms by Sue Barraclough. Oh, look! What do I see on this page? It's a table of contents. You'll find a table of contents in the front of a nonfiction book. Nonfiction means a book that's going to teach us. It has information in it. The table of contents will tell us about the smaller topics or the key details that we're going to learn about in this book. It will tell us what they are and what pages we can find them on. Earthworms is on page 4. Types of earthworms is on page 6. So there are different kinds of earthworms, and if I wanted to know about all the different kinds, I would read page 6. If I wanted to know where to look for earthworms and where to find them, I would read Looking for Earthworms on page 8. How Earthworms Move is on page 12. Laying Eggs is on page 14. Did you know that earthworms lay eggs? Oh, I didn't either. Earthworms' Eggs is on page 16. So I would definitely want to reach page 14 about laying eggs and page 16 about the eggs if I wanted to know more about that. Earthworms in Danger is on page 20, which is right after Food for Earthworms on page 18. So some of the key details that I'm going to learn about in this book would maybe be where to look for earthworms, all about earthworm eggs, what they eat, what eats earthworms, when are they in danger, how they can be useful on page 22. In the back of the book, just like many nonfiction books, I'm going to find a glossary and an index. The glossary is like a special dictionary just for this nonfiction book. With all the special words in it, it'll tell me what those words mean. On the index, I'll find the special words, but I'm not going to find what they mean. I'll figure out what pages they're on, in case I want to go back and reread about that special word. I'll know which words are special to this topic because they will be bold. Do you see how this word and this word are a little darker and a little thicker than the other words? Bold text helps me know that that word is very special to the topic and that I should know all about that word to help me understand the topic the best. Now that we know how the book is organized, let's read more. Earthworms. Earthworms are small animals with long, soft bodies. Readers, did you notice how I used my words differently than just saying small and long? That's because the text helped me understand to do it. It says earthworms are small animals with long, soft bodies. The author did that to the text to help me do that. It helps me understand more about the topic. Types of earthworms. Many different kinds of earthworms live in soil and in water. I noticed that the author shows me different types of earthworms in the photographs. That goes with this key detail on the page. The text and the photographs they are using go together to help me understand more. Looking for earthworms. You might see earthworms in the soil in a garden. This word is bold text. I could find it in the glossary or index if I wanted to know what soil meant. So I could look it up there, or I could think about the word in the sentence and look at the photograph, and that might help me too. You might see earthworms in the soil in a garden. What is in the picture with the earthworms? Where are they? They're in the dirt. Soil must mean dirt. If I wasn't sure, I could look in the glossary in the back, and it would tell me what it meant. When the soil is wet, they wriggle through it. An earthworm's body. An earthworm's long body is divided into segments. An earthworm does not have a real head or any legs. Segments. Well, it's a bold text word, so it's important to my topic. I'll look at the photograph and see if that will help me understand what segments means. Well, I just see these lines on him. I wonder if it means different parts. How could I find out more about the word segments? I could look in the glossary, and I know the glossary is in the back of the book. If I didn't know what page it was on, I could look it up in the table of contents in the front, but I know glossary starts with a G. I could look for it there. Do you see anything that starts with a G? I do too. Here's the glossary. Segment. I'm looking for the word segment. It's going to start with an S. You're right. No. There's one. Segment. Let's look carefully. Segment is part of a worm. Most segments of a worm look the same. So it's a little piece, and they kind of look the same. Oh, like that might be one segment, and that's another segment, and there's another one. Now I understand. Have we seen any other books that are organized like this one, where there's a table of contents to help us, or a glossary to help us, or bold text, or photographs that are zoomed in very close so that we can see all the details? How earthworms move. To move, an earthworm stretches and pushes forward. Do you see why I said stretches like that? The word is all stretched out. This makes its body long and thin, and then pulls its tail end forward. So he stretches and pushes forward, and then he pulls his tail end forward. And that is how he moves. Laying eggs. It takes 2 earthworms to make eggs. Earthworm eggs. Each egg has a hard case called a cocoon. The cocoon protects the egg as it grows. When it is ready, the tiny worm pushes its way out of the egg. Food for earthworms. Earthworms pull dead leaves into their burrows to eat. Worm castings are what is left of an earthworm's meal. Earthworms in danger. Many different kinds of animals like to eat earthworms. Earthworms use bristles on their bodies to help keep themselves from being pulled out of the soil. So we know they don't really have a head or legs or arms or anything. So they use little bristles on their bodies. It helps them hold themselves into the dirt, into the soil, so that they can't get pulled out. It doesn't look like it always works. What kind of animals like to eat earthworms? How do you know? You're right. The photographs can help us understand more. They didn't tell us using words what sort of animals eat earthworms, but they showed us in the photographs. Now I know that birds eat worms and toads eat worms. Useful earthworms. The holes earthworms make let air into the soil and let water drain out. Worms eat many kinds of waste. This helps to break the waste down and make the soil richer. Thank you for reading Earthworms with me. What was the main topic for this book? You're right, it was about earthworms. This author used a lot of different text features to teach us all about earthworms. What sort of non-fiction text features did we see in this book that helped us understand? Sure, we saw a table of contents in the front. We saw zoomed up photographs. We saw bold text words. We saw arrows that point to pieces to help us understand more about that photograph, what part of the photograph we should look at. I just love how close the photograph is. We can really see all the details. They gave us subheadings so that we know what the little tiny topic, what the key detail is that we're supposed to be finding out about on this page. They gave us a glossary and an index to help us understand the special words. Do you remember some of the interesting facts about earthworms? What did you learn about earthworms? Can you list 4 key details across your fingers? Thank you for reading with me today. Go ahead. Tell me all about earthworms. List them across your fingers.